Today we're gonna be talking about something a little different. 5 things that will help you get and keep clients that have nothing to do with your skill. Stick around. What's up guys, my name is Tilmon. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Today we're gonna be talking about 5 things that will get you jobs and help you keep clients. And these 5 things are good habits to have as first impressions and good qualities to have as a small business to help your business grow. Number 1, show up early. Beat the agent to the property. Now why is that? Number 1, you need to start by introducing yourself to their clients. If you get there 15 minutes early, this will give you time to meet the owner of the home, go through, turn on all the lights and lamps and whatever else you want on, turn off the fans, because there's nothing that says amateur more than a blurred fan in a photo. To open up the blinds, because we do window pulls, we can see clearly outside. And these things right here, you can get done by the time the agent shows up. And if you've worked with agents for long, you know they probably will be late because they're so busy juggling other clients. So they will start to trust you and not even have to come to the property anymore because they like your personality. You show up, you get the job done, and their clients, the sellers, like you because you show up early. There's been very few times that I've been somewhere and they're like, oh, you're early, we're not ready. It wouldn't have mattered if I was there at 9:45 or 10 o'clock, they wouldn't have been ready anyways. So being there early, I can walk through with the owners. If there's any clutter on the tables, I can say, hey, can we move this? Be able to say things like that and be assertive. I'm saying this from experience. One time I did not, and there was some pinata on a refrigerator or something, and the owner was like, do you want me to move that? And I was like, cause I was still learning the whole process, didn't even think about the agent being upset. I was like, no, I mean, you know, you live here, you know, I use that, you live here, it's, you know, that's fine. And in reality, the agent was upset because I did not move it. And it was a small little thing that I didn't move. The agent was upset and said, why in the world did you leave that there? And then from then on, that agent always showed up to every property because you know, you have to learn every agent. They're a little different. They have certain things they want, certain things they like. Some of them even certain angles. I had one property group, I did this shot with like a brick mailbox, and it was a wider shot. You know, we're in real estate. They're all wide shots. I was out here, you know, I kind of showed the concrete of the street and shot that way and they didn't like it because the mailbox blocked a part of the house. It blocked like that much of the house, but they didn't like it. So then I had to remember from then on, okay, I need to stand inside where the mailbox is on the other side of it and shoot the house from corner to corner. So showing up early is important because in my personal opinion and in the business world that I have seen and collected this knowledge, if you're not early, you're late, because you need to have the basic stuff done before the agent ever gets there, and they will be impressed every time. You're not gonna show up early and an agent be mad at you because you had everything done by the time they got there. That gives you time to set up all your equipment, you know, your tripod, your triggers and all that stuff, your light, everything will be set up by the time the agent gets there, and all you have to do is walk through the house with the agent when she gets there. That's it. So show up early. Number 2, have business cards. It is extremely important not only to have a good first impression, but to leave a lasting impression. And one way to do that is to leave a business card in their hand. And even if the agent doesn't show up, I still leave a business card on the counter of the home. If it's a vacant home, I'll put it on the counter or in the drawer or whatever, because if you've ever been to several homes, you'll end up seeing that agents will, you know, different agents that show the house and, you know, they want people to find their card. They leave it on there. I put my card with their card. No one has ever said, please don't do that, because they're doing business just like I'm doing business, and we do it by word of mouth, and business cards is a way to spread the word that, hey, I exist. And you can get them like for 20 bucks off of Vistaprint. Design your own on there, get them delivered to you, like 500 business cards. And I've done this before and it's worked. You know, at the gas station where people put in their credit card, after I get gas, I put a business card in there. They have to touch your card and take your card out and look at it before they can put their card in there to get gas. Is that sneaky? Yeah. Does it annoy people? Probably, but I don't care, because one way or another, people are gonna know what my business is called. Number 3, give yourself at least 2 hours per job and let the agent know and schedule it out to about 2 hours per job. Because if something malfunctions or something goes wrong, there's always, not always, but there's a lot of times where something happens and you're like, you get frazzled, you get like, when I get nervous about something, I start getting really hot. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, and you have to think for a second. And when that happens to me, it puts me in a state for a couple of minutes of like, it's like nothing goes right. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but that's me. Like when something starts going wrong and it catches me off guard and I'm not expecting it. And then if I have another one scheduled after this, then it becomes even worse because then it starts stacking on top of things that are going wrong. And all of a sudden now I gotta hurry because the next client and all this. So give yourself about 2 hours, even 2.5 hours, 3 hours if it's a bigger job, because you would rather give more time than less, because you would rather wrap it up early than have to stay over and the agent or the seller is waiting around for you to finish your job. Know how long each job will take and know your equipment. That way, if something does go wrong or something malfunctions, you either have a backup camera. I have two. I have the Canon R6 and I also have the Canon 90D. I have both of these with me pretty much all of the time because it is technology and technology can mess up easily. And then when one thing starts happening, it seems like something else will happen, or a memory card. I haven't had, knock on wood, haven't had anything malfunction with memory cards yet in the several years I've been doing this, but it can happen. So I always have backup memory cards. I always have at least one backup battery because real estate doesn't take a whole lot of battery. You're not shooting for an extended period of time and you can turn it off and on between moving the stand, but know how long each one is going to take and have a contingency plan because something can happen. And if it does, you don't want to mess up and have to reschedule again because you didn't plan ahead. So plan ahead, know your shoot, know your equipment. And number 5 is be personable. Now, what does that mean? You need to have a personality. I am a lot of personality. So I get along with people very easily. It comes natural to me. I'm also, another job that I have, I'm a minister. So like talking to people is like what I do. Getting in front of people, it's what I do. But I wasn't always that way and I would let people run over me. Things in life shape your personality. You choose to let them shape you in a positive way. So when you approach somebody, I know people, well around here, I live in East Texas. We've been shaking hands all through the pandemic, hugging, whatever in church. But just be cautious. Like for instance, this is like a golden nugget right here for you. If people aren't comfortable shaking hands, when you greet them, see what their body language is doing. If they start going like this, think quick enough to where you start going like this. If they're not, or they just want to bump a fist, a lot of people do that because they feel more comfortable that way, or they bump elbows, whatever. But do it, and then if it's awkward, I'm a comedian at heart. Make it kind of funny, like, oh, I don't know what we're doing, and we just both laugh and we go about our business. Don't let it make the situation really awkward because you don't know how to respond. You have to have a personality because in the end, you are selling them your business by your personality. So who you are will either get you business or no one will want to use you because you act weird, or you can't hold a conversation, or the agent's clients don't like you because you come in and you're either obnoxious and you know everything, or you just come in and don't say anything and it's kind of creepy. You got to find that good middle ground to where you can know your equipment so you can say, hey, you want to see what I did? Because 9 times out of 10, actually 10 out of 10, I have never had anybody say, no, I don't want to see what you're doing, it's fine. Everybody always wants to see what you're doing. So if you know what you're doing, if you watch my tutorial videos over here, you can show the clients and explain to them, like I explained to you on this channel, what you're doing and why you're doing it, the reason you flash, you want the true colors of the walls and the carpet and all that stuff, and they're blown away. It doesn't matter how old they are or how young they are, they always thinks it's cool. And so you kind of get to teach them a little bit and show them a little bit, and that builds confidence in them that in return builds confidence in your agent's eyes because they were so impressed with you because you knew so much. I showed up at a shoot one time and the agent was like, wow. Because I had the light, I have my ProPhoto B1X and I have, this on the top of it. And the main reason I use such a large one is because when I have it in here, I set it on the ground. And so I never have to have a stand. I just set it face down on the ground and it holds it. And she was like, wow, the stuff you use, my daughter did some modeling in Dallas. You're using everything they used in the studio. And she was impressed. And from then on, she wanted to use me just because I had equipment that was professional looking. I can explain what my equipment was and what it did and the reason I had things. And like people are so taken by how big and huge this is. And it's just like, I explain it to them what it is, and they like my personality because I am willing to talk about something I'm passionate about. So if photography is your passion, use that passion to communicate with others. I don't nerd out too bad. I do this with my wife. I nerd out so hard. She has no clue what I'm saying. But there's a happy medium that you can find. When someone is excited about something or they're passionate about something and they're happy about it and they enjoy it, that joy and happiness and passion transfers to people who don't even know anything about it. They start to smile. So that being personable, that having a personality that people enjoy being around, that will get, and everything I just talked about has nothing to do with your skill level. You cannot do window pulls like my work. You may not even be that great a photographer and you just know some basic stuff and you're learning, but your personality will keep people coming back because they enjoy being around you. I did a 25-year Hispanic wedding in November, the end of November. I had no clue what was going on. I don't speak Spanish. My wife does, but I don't. And it was, it was different. I didn't know what to expect. They had no order of service or anything. So I was just doing video. And because the youth pastor at my church, he also does photography. So I did the video, he did the photos. And before we even got the work to her, because we were so like personable, we talked to people, we acted like we were one of the family, and we walked around and we didn't know Spanish, but that didn't keep us from like being a part of the atmosphere. And she was bragging and hugging us when she saw us again before she got our work because she enjoyed being around us. And we just met her. That is magic. Your personality is magic if you do it right. So show up early and be on time. 15 minutes early is on time. You got a job at 10, be there at 9:45. That'll give you time to turn on lights, turn off fans, talk to the owners, get them comfortable with you, have business cards. I've had a lot of the sellers, the owners of the home, they ask for business cards just because they like me, or I'm a photographer. People love photographers. Be reliable. Show up when you're supposed to show up. Be there when you say you're gonna be there. Turn in your stuff to them when you give them, you know, hey, I can do this 24 hours, 48 hours, you know, it's a bigger job. I'll have it to you by next Monday, business day, or something like that. You know, give them a time frame that will give them assurance, and it'll also keep them from coming to you every hour and saying, hey, where are you at? Where's my photos? Even though they'll probably still do it, just give them a time frame in an email when they schedule the property, and that will help them chill out a little bit. Give yourself at least 2 hours per job. Big job, small job, whatever. Just say it'll take 2 hours, and then make sure you're doing in your travel. So if you got like a job on this side of the city and you're going to this side and you know it takes 30 minutes, well then calculate that in and do it in your time, so 2.5 hours. And know how long each job will take. So if it's a bigger job, smaller job, schedule it accordingly because that will make you look more professional. And know your equipment and be personable. Have a personality, be approachable. People need to enjoy being around you or they won't hire you again. If their clients, the homeowners, don't have good conversation with you and you just show up and do the job and have no conversation at all, they will not have you back because they have to have their clients feel comfortable around you. Whether they like you or not, or they're a friend or whatever, you have to impress and talk the agents up. Like, man, she's one of the best. Like, she's always working for her clients because that will get back to them and give reassurance, and that will give you more jobs in the future. You don't need to worry about now. Always apply these things for your future because you're trying to run a business, not just a job. So all these things will help you. Even if you're not the best photographer, you will have a good, steady client base that will pick you over someone they don't know because you're approachable, you show up on time, you're reliable, you know your equipment, you always schedule out the jobs accurately, you are good with their clients, so they love you because you represent them well. And these 5 things will get you new clients and keep them. And it has nothing to do with photography. Well, thanks for stopping by my channel today. If you haven't yet, consider hitting that thumbs up button. Share this with your friends. And if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel. That'd mean a great deal to me. Hit that bell notification so you can see every time I put out a new video. And thank you all for hitting my links below that are affiliate links with no extra cost to you that helps support this channel. See you next time.